Hello everyone. Hi, I am Prashant Nandam. Welcome back to our channel. And as a part of our AWS Masterclass series, today we will cover session 3. I am preparing the GitHub repos and the uh, content details. I mean the topics which are covering day to day. I am preparing the notes for them as well. You can refer to the readme.md files for more info. And in our last session to video, we have seen what is software development lifecycle and what is waterfall model and agile methodology. In this video, in session 3, today we will see how to create an AWS account, and we will have an overview of AWS console, and at last we will see IAM, how to create an IAM user and set permissions, and we will see what are AWS regions. So let's begin. To create an AWS account, you can just log into a aws dot amazon.com. You can just click on create account, and upon clicking on create account, it will ask for your email addresses and full name. Is it for personal or professional, and it will also ask you to verify your mobile number. Just follow the steps and go through the process. You will be having a free trial account. Since I already have an AWS account, I am not going to
Cool.
create this for now. I am just logged into my AWS console, and now once you create your AWS account, and you will be able to log into the console, and you will see this type of interface. And this is the main dashboard to manage all your AWS services. And in the top here, it is a search bar, and you can search for any resources. For suppose to create an virtual machine, we can use EC2. EC2 is the name of a AWS services to create a virtual machine, and it is Elastic Compute Cloud. And we can click on launch instance, and we can proceed further creating an instance. And then again, uh, to get into any other service, you can just click on S3. It's a S3 bucket. We'll come into it later in our next coming videos. And you can also view all the services here, like recently visited one. Everything can be seen here. And your billing details, cost management, all the information can be seen in the AWS console. And currently we are with the root user, and you can customize your dashboard as well. And now if you want to create, I mean basically, uh, when we log in with our email account, we will be in a root user. And for best practices, we I recommend, I mean, we will be creating an IAM user, and we will be assigning them the particular resource uh, permissions, and we'll be working on it. For suppose, as an administrator, I'll be having permissions for each and every resources. Now, if you want to have user to be restricted to particular services, then you can create an user, and you can assign particular roles and policies for that specific user, so that they won't be able to access other services, just to avoid any user mistakes, like deleting other user data or something like. And now we will be logging into our console, AWS management console, via IAM users. And to create an IAM user, just search for IAM. If you click on here, this is our IAM dashboard. and this is a IAM services, identity access management. And okay, let's create a user, and to create a user you have to click on create user and give name as group. Let's say it as group and click next. For now, just create a user without any policy, something like next. Tags also we don't need for now. Good. Now you have created a user with name group. Let's click on the user and see he do not have console access. Okay, and no policies has been assigned to this user. Let's have a password for this user. I am enabling access. Let me download the CVV as well. Now the user has console access without MFA, and we also set a password for this user. And to log into this user, just copy this URL and let me open another browser. Sorry. AWS console login. See, we have to log in as a IAM user, and for that, just give a moment. We need some credentials. Account ID it is asking. IAM user and copy the account ID. We'll be having account ID here, 3317. Okay. This is our account ID and IAM username. What was our group and password we have to enter. Now just sign in. Not now. See, now we have logged in with a IAM user, which username is Groot. You can see the username here, Groot. And he will be having restrictions. See, access denied. And if you search for EC2 instance, if I click on launch instance, upon entering all the details, it will tell me you do not have access. And now if I create a VPC, if I go on this, Sydney, I mean, if I want to create a VPC, just click VPC, just give name as VPC and CIDR block is 10.0.0./24 default. And if I click on create VPC, it will tell me an error. There was an error creating. Why? Because I haven't provided any access or any permission for this user to create a user. That is why I'm experiencing these errors. Now, if you see here, permissions, I don't have any. Okay. Now, let me add permissions for this user. Add permissions. Attach a policy directly. I want to give him a S3. Let's go with VPC only. VPC we have to give multiple. Let's VPC full access, VPC full access, and I'll also provide him S3 access, Amazon S3 full access, and next and add permissions. Now this user has full access to S3 bucket, and this is a permission. You can write it as well directly, and to the AWS VPC as well. Now let's go back to a previous one. See, now if I click create, it has to create. See, VPC successfully created. This is how it works. And now if I go to S3, I will be able to create a bucket. See, I am having option to create a bucket, and I can give name as bucket 1. Let's keep everything as it is and click create bucket. Bucket name already exists. It should be globally unique. -1 PR. Okay, this also exists. Mm, This should not be. It is telling a invalid character. If you see now, I have successfully created a bucket. Now, let me delete this bucket. I have deleted bucket, and now I have previous permissions were, and I'll remove this policy, Amazon S3 full access policy, and I'll remove now he has access to only VPC. Now he won't be able to create any bucket here. PR buck. Let's give a random name, and if I click create, it won't. See, after creating bucket, you can upload fail to create bucket. Permission is required. That's how it happens. This is the reason. I mean, this is one of the reason why we create IAM users, and I will also recommend you to create an IAM user after you are creating your first AWS account, and it will be free for 6 months, I believe. Earlier it was 12 months, but now it changed it to 6 months. And now let's see regions. These are the regions, okay? And AWS data centers are spread across the world. These are the data centers, are they are spread across the world, and each location is called as a regions. Now if you see Mumbai, which is AP South 1, this is a region. And similar way we have Europe and US East 1, East 2, many. And inside this each region there are multiple availability zones, and they are uh, separate data centers connected with high speed network as well. And when you launch an instance or a database, it is always best to select the region closest to your nearest location. I mean your specific region or the specific to any user. So it will reduce the latency and it will improve performance. If you see now I'm in India, so which is nearer to me, Mumbai or Singapore. So I can select Mumbai just to avoid any latency, something like. This is how we will be using AWS account, and let's delete our VPC as well. VPC, and whatever resources you may create, just delete them as soon as you are done with your work. If not, it will charge you, and the building will be done for the hours. Okay, VPC has been deleted. Now let's log out a root user. to our users and delete this user as well because I don't want to use this root. Confirm, delete user. Let me delete this as well. I'm not going to use this anymore. Cool. This is how we will create users and give permissions. Just to recap, what all we have done, we have come to know how to create an AWS account, and after AWS account creation, we have seen what are the resources and how to access the resources. And after that, we have seen how to create an IAM user and give specific permission to that user. And this is just for you to log in as a IAM user instead of root user. We have seen that as well, and later we have seen what are regions and what are the availability zones, and how we select regions when we are creating resources. And then we have seen how to add permissions to a user or attach a policy to the user, and we have also seen how to remove a policy and how to delete a user and how to delete the user from the root user as well. We have seen all those things, and in our coming session we will be starting the actual series. I mean, these are like basics, and earlier we have done session 1, session 2. These are the basics, and today we just seen what is AWS console and etc. And in our next session we'll be seeing introduction to VPC and what is VPC, what are subnets, what are route tables, internet gateway and ad gateways, and elastic IP security groups. Everything we'll be covering in our upcoming sessions. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I kindly request you all to subscribe to our channel for more videos and share it with someone who is looking to learn DevOps or who are interested in learning the DevOps courses or AWS series. Thank you.